Okay.
Hey, it's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
Kind of dropped the ball on this here video thing.
Yeah.
But
Things have just got crazy and busy. I mean, summer, you know, all of that, and our kids just started to go back to school, and it's just kind of been crazy time for us, so.
Can't leave our babies in kindergarten.
I know.
Not fair.
Sent off our oldest to kindergarten, our other one to preschool, and
Cried for days.
yes.
It's been fun.
So, we last updated everybody when I was, how far? I think I was about 19. I was 19 weeks when we did our last little video. I'm 28 weeks now, so it's almost been 10 weeks. So, super dropped the ball, but we are going to just kind of go over everything that's happened to us since then, because it's been kind of crazy.
A
Little bit. So, yes, we hopped on our YouTube, just like totally kind of forgot about it. Hopped on and we had all these subscribers, all these comments, and we were just kind of floored. We were not expecting to have all these responses and things, and so I figured I would answer a couple of questions that I noticed people were asking a little bit, and the first one was, oh, there's 3 babies. Yes, there are 3 babies. We are having triplets. Baby A is a girl, baby B and baby C are boys.
Should we disclose the names yet?
No, we're not saying names yet. When they're born, you have
Very
to wait.
cute names.
So yes, we are having triplets. It is a real thing. It's not fake. Real thing.
So a lot of the other questions we got was how did we guess?
Like people were just kind of asking, like, how did we, because in our video of us finding out at the doctor, we both said, I knew it when we saw 2
right.
babies. And so people were asking us how we knew that we were having 2 babies.
I think we've always just known we're eventually going to have twins, either us or somebody else in the family, but
Yeah.
and the reason we thought that is because, on her side of the family, twins run in the family.
Yeah, my mom had twins, and my grandma was pregnant with twins. She lost one of them, unfortunately, but she was pregnant with them, so it's a very strong genetic trait in my family.
And so I think we've just kind of known deep down that it was going to hit us. And
Yeah.
But then, of course, we get the double yolk egg, and
We totally did.
funny enough, if you look at the picture, it was technically a double yolk, but I had already cracked another one before I thought, oh, I'm just going to take a picture. So there's technically 3 yolks in my picture, and so that was kind of funny for later on. But then we found like a
My mom made like mozzarella sticks one day,
that's
and
right.
she was pulling them out of the bag, and 2 of them were like morphed together like they were twins. We just had lots of really weird like things like that happen before we even had our appointment to find out how many babies there were.
My mom had a random dream of 2 baby elephants or something like that. So fun little things like that. I can't remember anything else.
Well, and it wasn't just that. I don't think I've talked about this quite yet.
We kept seeing like TikTok videos about twins too.
That too. But also I took my test. I tested super early. And when you have multiple babies, your HCG levels are way higher, so you can get more like a positive test way earlier. And I did, and it was, so I just kind of felt, even then when I took that test and it showed a positive like super early, that it was probably at least 2 babies. We just weren't expecting the 3rd at all. So that's why in that video we're just completely in shock. And I know I even saw someone mentioned like, well, the dad is laughing, so I guess that's good. There was no other reaction. We just laughed because
we just knew
we knew that at least we'd get multiples, but we were not expecting that 3rd baby to pop out of there. So
yeah, he like moved the little ultrasound a little bit. We just saw a little goober tucked in the corner. We're like, no.
But yeah, we just were not expecting that 3rd baby to pop in there at all. So that is why we were laughing, because we were not expecting that at all. So since our last update at 19 weeks, we had our anatomy scan, like the full, it was like, how long was that? It was like 2
3 hours.
2 or 3 hours. It took a long time. Very tiring day. I had my 3-hour glucose test that morning, which luckily came back clear. And then we had our full body anatomy scan for all 3 babies, and it took almost 3 hours. It was a really exhausting day, which you could probably tell in the video. When we posted it, we looked pretty beat. We looked pretty tired. So that was the last thing we updated. They all looked fantastic at their anatomy scan. Nothing abnormal at all. Just looked really good. So that was, I believe, June 28th. I have like notes here, but I think that was around June 28th. And then a couple weeks after that, I was about 20. I was like a day before I hit 22 weeks. So it was like July 6th.
A little bit of a scare.
Had a real big scare. Not really big, but a little bit of a scare. I woke up in the morning and I just felt like pain in my side right here. And I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't pinpoint it. I've been in labor before with our oldest. But I just couldn't tell if that's what it was. I thought it was just like growing stretching pain maybe, but anytime I moved, I wanted to scream. It hurt so bad. So I called my doctor, and he wanted us to go to labor and delivery right away. And when you hear that at 22 weeks pregnant with triplets, which you don't want to have your triplets at 22 weeks, it freaked me out, and I was a wreck. I just was. He left work, picked me up, we went straight down to the hospital, and I actually took video of that moment. I just didn't ever post it because it was really like vulnerable for me because I was, you can tell I'm visibly like shaken and scared. But we will insert that here so that you can see kind of the footage from that and what happened there.
It was great fun. So, we're having a little scare on our way to the hospital. Got a phone call from Erin that she's experiencing some severe pain and called the doctor. They want her to go to labor and delivery in Provo right now. I don't know what else they told you though.
That was it. I just was on the phone with the nurse because I woke up, I was in so much pain. And she just asked me a bunch of questions, and then she said she was going to talk to the doctor and get back to me as soon as possible. And when she called me back, she said, we just need you to, he wants you to go to labor and delivery to get checked out, monitored, whatever, and make sure everything is progressing okay. So, kind of scary, because I just expected maybe they'd have us come into the office to do that. So I don't know why they want us to go to the hospital. They didn't say. I mean, all she said was, you know, because you're having triplets, basically. Because anything can happen and anything can change really fast at any time. And so, sorry, keep talking.
Sorry. Anyway, so we're on our way.
A little nervous, but hopefully everything's okay.
Fingers crossed. Prayer in our hearts. So we're back in the car after the hospital.
5 hours later.
Yes. Yeah, it's like 4 o'clock.
4 hours later.
I don't even know what to say. Not that nothing was wrong.
No, just nothing's wrong, but nothing's like great. Like it's kind of that in between.
Basically got doctor's orders for bed rest.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case beforehand.
Yeah.
And so this guy gets to take over everything now.
Yep.
It's gonna be great fun.
So, oh, sorry, I'm like really nauseous all of a sudden. So basically I'm contracting. It wasn't enough for the doctor to like prescribe medications to get them to stop just because they're not like very strong. But they are there, so I have to take it very easy. No lifting of any kind, no anything. Like they don't really want me to like clean or anything like that. So I just have to take it really easy, and then we're just gonna watch and see if the contractions ease up. If they get worse, then we have to go back in. They might get better, but we just have to see. So,
I think that's about it, right?
That's about it. The pain in the side, I just feel like it just really might just be a mixture of things. Stretching, pulling, having contractions, things like that. So, nothing to be concerned about though, since they sent us home. So, but any small thing, change, anything like that, we have to go back in just because it is triplets and they have to be extra vigilant with them. So.
Yeah, so that this is your new baseline, so you have to base everything off of what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Now, if it's worse than what you're feeling now, then
yeah.
Try and take care of it with Tylenol. If not, then we'll go.
Yeah. So hopefully, and that was even what the nurse said. She said hopefully, within the next 4 to 5 weeks, it's not gotten worse. Because if it does get worse by like 24 weeks, and we have to go back in, they'll do all they can to stop the labor, but there's always the chance that they might have to take the babies early, which we don't want them that early. So
yeah,
that's all I think I even remember. It was a lot of information, a lot of stuff, but luckily nothing's wrong right now that requires us to stay. So, which is good, it's what we want. But she said don't feel dumb for ever coming in, because they just have to watch them really close, because there's 3 of them and it's not the same thing as one baby. So
they're all healthy.
Yep.
They're all doing good.
They all look great. So it's just me we gotta worry about more than them at this point. So, and that's it.
And cut.
Woohoo! So basically, what you saw from the video, I got put on bed rest, moderate bed rest, which just means, take it easy, don't lift, don't clean, all that. I was contracting at that time, but it wasn't enough to stay at the hospital, which is good. Anytime they say go home, it's good, especially with 3. So I was contracting, it wasn't enough to stay, so we got to go home, and I went on bed rest. And a week after that, we had a family trip to his family's cabin, which, I was on moderate bed rest, but
mother-in-law, everybody's freaking out that something was going to happen, but we're sitting in a cabin for
we just sit and we play games and watch movies, and I just rested on the couch, and it was so fun. Different because I didn't get to go on walks and things like that, but it was still fun to get to go and spend that time with everybody. But I just hung out on the couch the whole time because I was on bed rest.
That's great.
So it was fun. And then a few days after that, after we got home, I actually had my baby shower because we couldn't change my baby shower date. So I just sat in this big comfy chair like the whole time, and everyone brought me food. It was great. I loved it. And I got some really fun stuff. I think I actually might do a video just showing kind of like the fun things that we've gotten for the babies. We've gotten some really awesome stuff, and very thankful for all of the people in our lives that are helping us out with all of it. So
we haven't ever said this stuff, but it wasn't even the day after we found out we were having triplets, we immediately jumped on Facebook Marketplace looking for all this stuff. Within a couple of days we found 3 baby swings, 3 bouncers. Gosh, what else
good stuff for good stuff, really good condition. Stuff. Yeah.
And it feels, I don't know. This is back in March that we found out, or was it? It was April.
It was April we found out.
We just picked up the swings. It was a super cold, rainy day, so I can't remember. I don't know. It flew by, but at the same time, it feels like it was forever ago because we did it within a couple of days of finding out. We just found all this great stuff.
So we've had all this stuff for months and months, and we're getting there. We're almost ready to use them.
In the process of converting our garage into a master bedroom,
which would also be a fun video. We're probably going to document that too.
I think that'll be fun. That's a good idea.
To document our garage process, turning it into a living room space. That's where we're going to be with the babies for a while. we're going to move our room out there so that there's room for them in there with us. And it would be fun. I think it would be fun to document our little progress of our garage. So everything was kind of going pretty smooth. We are extremely lucky that we have so many family members around us because they have been able to take care of our kids like every day while he's at work, and so that I can be in bed. And it's been so nice. I miss them when they're not I miss them when they're not home with me, but it's really hard being on bed rest because you just can't do everything they need you to do. And so it's been nice to have family kind of help step in and take care of them when we need it. So that all kind of got settled, and we got settled into a really good schedule. And then how far along was I? I was 24 weeks, so it was like 2 weeks later. I was having really bad pain in my back, and I could tell they were contractions. And any change at all from what happened previous, we knew we had to go back in. And I didn't want to, but I knew we needed to because we got to take care of these babies. So we went into the hospital again. And where we live, it's a holiday that day in our state, and so
I forgot about that.
It was night, and so we got to see all the fireworks outside, which was fun. But they just monitored me for a couple hours, and they seemed to be slowing. They weren't super bad. They just sent me home with, take some Tylenol, take it easy still, which I already had been, but just take it easy. Take some Tylenol if you feel the pain, and if it gets worse than this, come back in. So that happened around the 24th of July. So about 10 days after that happened, maybe like a week, once I hit 25 weeks, we had another scan, basically, and that scan, at that time, the babies were each weighing about 1 pound 6 ounces. They were looking really good. We already talked about how we picked out their names. Our names were established at that time, for sure. I started getting really bad rib pain. I can't talk. I was still on bed rest. And, that was basically all that happened at that appointment. They were all head down, which they said they'd probably change positions again. Because they still had room for a couple more weeks. So that happened at that appointment, and nothing too exciting, but they just look really good every time we go in. They're doing great.
Not to brag, but the doctors say that they're textbook definition of
the perfect triplets.
Set of triplets.
Yeah.
Just very healthy.
Which is good. It's funny because it's the babies are doing great. It's me more that's not doing so great because I'm contracting and stuff like that. So that's where it's kind of a bummer. But so our next appointment after that, it was when we were 27 weeks. That was our last appointment that we've had at all, was 27 weeks. Because I'm 28 now. So it was a couple weeks ago. We had our last appointment. The babies look great. Like he said, the doctor told us they're the perfect triplets. They're doing so well. Out of all the triplets they see, ours are doing the best, which is kind of sad, but it makes us very glad that ours are doing so well. When they measured them and they can tell their weight, I keep almost wanting to say her name. We're not going to spill it yet. Baby A, our girl, she was 2 pounds 7 ounces. Baby B was 2 pounds 6 ounces, and baby C was 2 pounds 4 ounces. So he's actually the smallest one right now, and she was the one that was smallest for the longest time. She just kind of surpassed her brothers and is the biggest baby now. So that's fun. And then they moved again, but this time they're probably going to be stuck for the rest of the time. So she's on the bottom, and then he's on top, and then he's on top. So they're just kind of laying side to side, stacked on top of each other.
Already getting ready for bunk beds.
They are squished in there. The ultrasound tech was cracking up because they are squished. Our poor little girl in there just two brothers right on top of her. She's just squished so bad. So it was funny.
Goobers.
Yeah, that was basically the last development that we've had as far as like appointments go. I did get pups. I have that, so that's fun. You can probably see it like on my face, and it's all over my stomach, and it's super itchy.
For those who don't know what pups is.
If you don't know what pups is, not having actual pups, almost. But
we are
pups,
having a pup soon.
But pups is basically a rash that you can develop all over your body when you're pregnant. It's more common when it's your first baby or if you're having multiples, just because of the stretching and things just growing faster. So it's basically a rash that just develops on all your like stretch marks.
Your body.
It could be all over your body, and it's
like your body thinks it's allergic to the pregnancy or something like that.
Like, yeah, your brain's telling your body you're allergic when you're not. So it was really miserable at first when I first got it, and I'm a scratcher, and especially in my sleep, and so
I'll be like doing something, and then I hear in the bathroom. I walk in, and it's like a crime scene. There's
blood all over my stomach. I try so hard not to scratch, but I scratch in my sleep, and that's where it's really bad. So I
stained our sheets a couple.
It was so sad, but it was so itchy. I've never had itch like that in my life, and the best thing I figured out for it was I started doing oatmeal baths, which helped a ton. I started using his soap.
We'll put a plug in for Squatch soap if you're watching.
Yeah.
Your friggin' pine tar with oatmeal.
Yeah, the pine tar soap with oatmeal from the Dr. Squatch soaps, that has helped so much on my stomach. And then just hydrocortisone cream when I get out of the shower, and it has helped so much. It's still there. It's not pretty. I'm not going to show you, and I'm not going to take a picture of it. But it was really bad at first, but now it's gotten way better, and I feel like it's more under control, and so it hasn't been too bad. So everything's been looking really good for the last couple weeks.
And then Friday happened.
So Thursday night. Technically it was Thursday night.
Morning.
I woke up like
3 in the morning.
4 times in the middle of the night, and I just felt this I've had contractions. They are not frequent. That's why they sent me home. They've really died down. They're not frequent at all. They're kind of strong, but they're just not frequent enough to be concerned. But that night, Thursday night, I woke up probably 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night, and I'm like, my stomach hurts. It was so tight, I could barely move from side to side. It was painful, and I think I was just so out of it in the middle of the night. I didn't even think to be like, honey, this is a problem. I was so tired, I just fell back to sleep. And then that morning, we took the kids to school, and I took him to work because I didn't have anyone to pick up the kids from school that day. So I was just going to do it because I was feeling, I thought I'd be fine. So I went and picked up the kids from school. We got home, and I just was not feeling good, at all. They were, down watching a movie, and I just kept having that tightening of my stomach, and it was bad. I mean, I knew they were real contractions, and I started timing them, and they were about about 10 minutes apart. So I told Karsten, I'm like, yeah, I think I called him actually. I didn't text him. I think I called him, and I said, these are really bad. I think we need to go to the hospital. I'm kind of worried. And because I had been talking with my mom and my sister, and they both said that they felt like it would probably be best to go into the hospital if they were that close. So called him. My mom had to go get him from work because I dropped him off at work, and I had the car and I couldn't drive because I was in so much pain. And so my mom picked him up from work. She took the kids, and we got to the hospital, and it was pure chaos. I mean,
I easily counted 6 or 7 nurses.
At least 6 or 7 nurses, and
at one time.
It's just kind of what happens when you have multiple babies, it's a high risk pregnancy, and so anything that's, you know, oh, I'm having contractions, I need to get in here, it's going to be a madhouse. So we had nurses hooking me up to monitors with trying to get the baby's heartbeats, and my trying to get the contraction monitor on me. Another nurse was checking my cervix and doing all the stuff. They were drawing my blood. It was so crazy. They were drawing my blood so that they could do like blood test, urine test, just so that they could test to see if there was like an infection causing the contractions somewhere, or if what else was it? Yeah, I'll cut that out. Anyways, they were just testing for anything that could be causing me to contract, because they just want to rule everything out, so they can easily find the problem. So they did all these tests, checked my cervix. My cervix is closed, so that is excellent news. They were really happy about that, because obviously if it was, you know, I was dilating, that's a problem. So the fact that I wasn't dilating was good. We just had to figure out how to stop the contractions. And we were there for 4 hours. And the whole time they were monitoring, my contractions were every 3 minutes. They were big. And it was crazy. It was literally like 10 times scarier than either first 2 times we had to go, because they were just so strong and so consistent, and it was really kind of scary, I think. I don't know if you felt freaked out. I was, but
deep down I knew everything was going to be okay, but she's such a trooper. She just,
well, the babies are doing so well that it's really me. We just have to get me under control, you know, my body, to not want to kick them out, because there's almost 9 pounds of baby right now, and Cohen was 9 pounds, our oldest, and so we know I can at least hold that much weight. So I think, you know, to me, my body's saying, oh, like, time to get out, like, you know, in a way. So yeah, so contractions were like every 3 minutes. They just wanted to watch me for like a couple hours. All the tests came back, and they did like tests for like, what is it called? They just check like they swab your cervix, and then they test it to see if it's showing signs of like labor in your cervix. And it came back negative, which is great. Like, that's exactly what we want. Because yes, at 28 weeks they can survive. They have like a 95% survival rate, they said. But they still have a really high risk of being born with issues. And we don't want that. And the longer we can keep them in here, the better for them. So that was good. All my tests, like the blood test, came back negative. There was no signs of infection anywhere. So they just think that my uterus was just getting irritated because of the stretching. And there's so much baby in here that it's, you know, it's getting irritated and it's starting to contract. So they gave me some medicine to stop it while we were there. And after I took that, it was like probably 30 minutes after that, I was like, I need to take a nap. I was feeling really tired, and I slept for
a good 2 hours, probably.
A good 2 hours.
Got caught up on my Good Modern Family.
Yeah, he was watching TV, and I slept. I just slept. And when I woke up, the doctor and the nurse came in and basically said that, you know, that the medicine helped slow down the contractions enough to go home, and they were sending me home with a prescription so that we wouldn't be in labor anymore until it's time to be in labor for real. They gave me a steroid shot like before like during the chaos and whatever, because they were preparing us to deliver and it was kind of scary just because everything, it just, you know, you never know, things can just change, and based on things they didn't know, they were just preparing us in case we needed to deliver. So they hurried and gave me a steroid shot in my hip, which hurt so bad. And
got those babies on that good juice.
Yeah, they got some good juice going, helping their lungs develop a little bit. But yeah, they sent us home with some medication, and I was feeling so much better after I woke up from that nap. I knew those pills were working. They were doing a good job. My contractions were all but gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went home, and they asked me to come back the next day to be monitored for like a couple hours, and then I had to get the second steroid shot. So that was yesterday that I did that. So yesterday he couldn't go with me because he had to work, but I had my sister. My sister took me, and yeah, we just went in and they just monitored the babies. They were being so uncooperative though, and would not. Their heart rates are good. They were just not cooperating with the nurses very well. It's hard to get 3 babies on a monitor, and so they just weren't cooperating very well. But their heart rates were looking really good. My contractions were all but gone, and they gave me the other steroid shot in my other hip, which still hurts really bad. I'm like, it's so sore and achy. So I don't know if she hit a nerve or something. I just don't know. It's really painful, but good for the babies. So yeah, and then we went home, and now I'm in bed all the time. In bed, and that's where we're at. That's kind of where we're at right now.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're hoping we can keep them in for at least
4 more weeks.
4 or 5 more weeks at least. The goal is 34. If we can even get to 32 or 33, that would be great too. So hopefully we can. But I think we should do like more of a weekly thing.
We will.
Because
we'll force ourselves to.
We are going to regret it if we don't. So yeah. So we're going to try and do more of a weekly thing. We're going to be seeing our doctors a lot more frequently now that this has happened, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just, kind of do small little updates here and there. I think it would be fun. I'll maybe do a little video while I'm home, and I can show you some of the fun stuff that we've got for the triplets. And yeah, I think that's it. That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 29 weeks, and hoping we can keep these guys in there for a while.
Yeah.
So, and we got an adjustable bed, which has been marvelous.
Fantastic.
For me. It's been really nice for me to be able to just go up and down. But yeah, so I think we'll end there, but that's where we're at now, and so we'll probably do another little video after our appointment this week. See what the doctor says about this contractions and laboring and stuff, and we're just gonna kind of go from there. I'm on this prescription for a week, I think, so hopefully it calms them down. Hopefully they don't pick back up after I've been taking it. Just kind of it was a scary couple days, but
You made it.
we're fine. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We don't mind sharing.
It's pretty fun. We're an open book.
Yeah, but thanks for watching, and thanks for being here for our little update. Thanks for being in our bed with us as we did this, because that's the only place I can be. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.